Let's call the meeting to order. Roll call, please. Or no, let's pledge. No, roll call. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's been a few months.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Been a while. All right, now roll call, please.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
Here.
Mrs. Cotterman.
Here.
Mr. Mosier.
Here.
Miss Amy Walker.
Here.
Mr. Wigton.
Here.
And entertain a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
So moved. I'll second.
Any discussion? None?
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4. And entertain a motion to approve previous board minutes, September 17th, or
So moved.
I'll second.
discussion? None?
Mr. Wigton.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4. And recognition of visitors? Anybody? All right, presentation of certificates.
Do have a couple of presentations to make this evening. We'll start, Mr. Dillon and Mr. Conway, would you please come forward? Mr. Dillon is our Teacher Ram Pride Award winner for the month of October, and I'd like to read a few paragraphs describing Mr. Dillon and his what he means to Madison. Mr. Dillon is the embodiment of what it means to bleed green. Jim is first and foremost a Madison alum. He and his wife, Michelle, both teach at the high school, and all of their children have attended Madison. Currently, Jim teaches everything from freshman physical science to college credit plus physics. He is the long-term chairperson of the science department and a mentor to his colleagues. In the classroom, Mr. Dillon is innovative and engaging, continuously adjusting his lessons to appeal to his students' various learning styles. His lab activities are not only fun and exciting, but they also challenge students to engage in problem solving and expanded thought. He is regularly recognized by students at the Academic Achievement Student Teacher Recognition Program as the teacher who has had the most significant positive impact on one of our highest achieving seniors. Outside of the classroom, Mr. Dillon has taken on a number of responsibilities. He is often regarded as the voice of the Rams, as the announcer of the home football and soccer games. He is also the master of ceremonies for school assemblies and for the Madison Athletic Hall of Fame banquet. Mr. Dillon is also the longtime coach of our very successful academic challenge team. Although he recently stepped down from the position, Mr. Dillon was also the assistant band director for many years. And even when Mr. Dillon isn't on the clock in one of his many roles, he can be seen at numerous Madison events supporting his students. Sadly, Mr. Dillon plans to retire at the end of the school year. While his many contributions as a teacher in the Madison local school district will be missed, the lasting impact that he's made on Madison schools will not be forgotten. Mr. Jim Dillon.
So on behalf of the administration at the high school, I just want to say very excited to present this award to Mr. Dillon. Jim and I have worked together for 16 years, and in that time, he's not only been a mentor, teacher, a wonderful employee, but he's become one of my best friends. And I just want to say there is nobody that deserves this any more than him. So thank you for everything you did for Madison High School, have done for Madison High School, are continuing to do for Madison High School, but also thank you what you've done for me and my family. We appreciate it. Thank you. Picture? Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Thank you, Mr. Conway. I know as the voice of the Rams, I should have something to say, but I really don't. I just appreciate the recognition, and I know we're not in this for the recognition, but when it does come, it is nice to receive it. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you. And our Ram Pride Award winner from the staff side is Miss Carol Moore. And she is the administrative assistant at Mifflin, and accompanied by school principal Mr. Nathan Stump. Miss Moore keeping Mr. Stump in line is a full-time job in and of itself. Yep. I'll read a couple paragraphs about Miss Moore. Every school has that one person who people see as the brains behind the operation, but rarely does this person also capture the hearts of others as well. Carol Moore is that person at Mifflin Elementary. Being an administrative assistant, she is the first point of contact, and there is no better person to initiate this conversation than, as the students call her, Miss Carol. She is loved by all due to her unwavering dedication to ensuring that Mifflin students and staff are set up for success through the front office. Administrative Assistant Day is more of a full office celebration as class after class visits to express their gratitude for the woman that brightens each student's day. Carol not only knows students by name, but invests in the families of Mifflin to ensure that the needs of each one are known so that she can make their Mifflin experience a positive one. Carol is also someone who is not afraid to roll up her sleeves and dive in deeply when help is needed. She does not see challenges as insurmountable. Rather, she would rather tackle the issue by lending her effort to ensuring that a student is able to thrive at Mifflin. Her creative approaches to these challenges, paired with a sense of humor after you get to know her, create a working environment that is enshrined in positivity and joy. At the end of the day, you can't help leaving Mifflin feeling a little lighter, knowing that Carol has impacted your day and hearing her quiet chuckle come over the PA system as she navigates afternoon announcements. Congratulations, Miss Carol Moore.
You can imagine Carol was very excited to stand up here today, but everything that Mr. Peterson read is absolutely true. You want to see a Madison woman with a golden heart, this is it. She is one of the kindest people I've ever had the chance to know. She really does love her job, and she loves her students. There's nothing more we could ask for from Ms. Carol, and so I know I'm a better man for knowing her, and I think Mifflin is just over the moon to have her as their administrative assistant. So thank you.
Well, I did have a big speech prepared, but I thought you didn't have time for that. So I am very humbled to get this. I am very grateful for the words that my boss man said about me. Got me a little teary-eyed there. Thank you, Mr. Peterson, for choosing me for this, and I do love my job. As Mr. Stump said, I've got 14 years at Mifflin, and looking forward to a few more before I decide to retire. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Committee reports, legislative,
No report.
no report. Athletic board,
We haven't met
haven't met, we're meeting.
next
end of
month. No, December, I think. Not until mid-December.
Okay. Student representative comments?
We don't have a student rep tonight. The appears the whole executive committee is involved in an athletic event or different events through the high school, so they didn't have anybody available tonight.
All right. Facilities.
Just a quick update in regards to high school boiler systems. We're about 2/3 of the way done with the project. It's actually coming ahead of schedule. Our heat exchangers will be in the next 3 weeks. And then once that's done, get the systems set up, tested, flushed, reset up again, and then we'll be ready to go for everything. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Board policy.
Nothing new from last meeting.
All right. Student achievement.
Okay, so from the high school, Key Club has a mission to help clean up and maintain Liberty Park. They met at the Pavilion at Liberty Park on Wednesday, October 15th at 3 p.m. and got to work. Key Club's October crochet party will be Tuesday, October 21st, and is designed to create simple projects of cold weather items to donate to the homeless shelter. And on Wednesday, September 17th, 30-plus students from Madison High School visited Ashland High School for the most recent OCC Leadership Conference. It was a great day, meeting new people and discussing ways to make our district a better place. OCC leadership looks forward to continuing to spread Ram pride. At Mifflin, third grade students are preparing for the fall Ohio State test in ELA that will be administered next week. Initial results showing students going from off track to on track in reading as determined from the fall iReady diagnostics indicate a positive increase of 26% as compared to the previous school year. Kindergarten students were able to visit the Mifflin Township Fire Station, learning about fire safety both at home and at school. All students are looking forward to their first leadership celebration of a directed paint later this month for earning their daily PBIS behavior points. At the middle school, they have 6 newly identified gifted students with iReady diagnostics. They have about 60 students across the building that are working with the MTSS teachers to work on getting closer to grade level in both math and ELA. This year, they have worked on their schedule to build in a reading comprehension class to help teach students learning strategies to understand complex texts. They have 5th grade COGAT testing coming up, and they're excited to see how many more of the students could qualify in the area of gifted. The first quarter ends next week, and we have been working hard with our students to catch up on missing assignments through after-school work sessions and as well as lunches. We are seeing a significant improvement with kids' grades. And then at Eastview, they're gearing up for state testing for 3rd grade next week. The PBIS celebration for quarter 1 is coming up along with quarter 1 grade cards. This past week, they had a group of volunteers led by the student council group that helped clean up litter at Liberty Park. And that's it.
All right, thank you. Superintendent update?
Yeah, just a brief update, a few things. Our senior citizen luncheons will take place tomorrow in the Ramble Inn at the high school. And as Mrs. Walker indicated in one of the reports from one of the buildings, it's hard to believe, but next Friday will be the end of the first grading period of the year. So we'll be a quarter away through the year already. And with that, our first round of parent-teacher conferences will take place early in November. I believe the 6th and the 11th are the dates for those. And our performance audit, we had our second meeting with the folks from the Ohio Auditor's office this morning, and I think we're still pretty much on schedule to receive some recommendations from them probably in March or April. And then last, we'll conclude my update with one of our 100-year videos that I don't think the board has seen this one yet. So, Mr. Strom, if you would roll that. The school district here at Madison, we are the hub of the community. Our community rallies around our schools, and this is where the action is in the Madison community.
The role of the elementary within the child's education, we're putting the building blocks in. We see that very beginning where it's letter recognition. This is an A, this is the sound that it makes, to learning literally how to read and how to write numbers and all of that. So we are setting that foundation and the building blocks and helping them, set off their career paths for success with the very basics.
Eastview is different from other schools because we're a smaller building, so it's kind of a more tight-knit, small family feel to our building. For Eastview, I feel like it was the foundation of my educational journey with Madison, not only educationally, but also like social, emotionally. Like I had a lot of leadership opportunities at Eastview.
Madison South is a little bit different. We're the largest elementary that we have, so we have just an incredibly diverse amount of students coming in and out. It's pretty awesome to see the amount of different backgrounds that students bring each and every day. I think the amount of energy and compassion and love and care that we provide for every single kid is unmatched. It's a bummer that we only get to see them for that 4 or 5 year window, but it's pretty awesome that we then get the ability to track their progress and see them and check in on them throughout their educational careers.
As the middle school, we're dealing with a lot of teenagers. For the first time, kids are actually representing their school in sports and in band competitions and singing competitions. We have academic challenge. A lot of the kids come from the feeder schools and they start ending up in one building. The kids are now starting to learn to build that Ram pride and not Mifflin pride or Eastview pride or South pride. We're all coming together and it's starting to build that community and loyalty to Madison.
It's real encouraging to see how much effort and care and love that our staff gives our students every single day. They're not just sitting there because they want you to do well on the test, they want you to do well in life.
It's not always the academics that you push. A lot of these kids, they need to know how to treat people and how to deal with failure, and that it's an opportunity to learn, and it teaches them how to grow up and be men and women. I actually enjoy teaching that stuff as much as anything else.
My hope for the future for Madison is that we continue to grow and just continue to offer the support and the love and the care and the education that our students need.
Our goal and hope is to continue to provide endless opportunities for our students to be, great citizens for our country and community, to just help them find the confidence to, go on to the next chapter and seize each new day to its fullest potential.
And that concludes my update. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stump, presentation Mifflin Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Caleb King, and I am excited. I said that wrong. Good evening. My name is Caleb King, and I am the president of the Mifflin Student Council. Tonight, we are excited to share with you all of the exciting things that have happened at Mifflin over the past year. We hope you enjoy learning more about our amazing school. Now, I would like to introduce our principal, Mr. Stump.
All right, thank you, Caleb. Just to get started tonight, want to just review very quickly our report card. Mifflin, once again, exceeded state standards by earning 4 stars last year. If you look at those tables, that top table are our percentage of passage rate on our 4 state tests that we have, the 2 and 3rd grade and the 2 and 4th grade. I'd like to draw special attention to that 4th grade math score of 95.2%. That was the highest we've ever seen in that area, so we are definitely making some positive gains there. But then drawing your attention to the green table, you will see that is our scores based upon against the state averages. So you can see in all 4 tested areas, we were well above the state average, especially 9.8% in ELA in 3rd grade and 22.3% in math. And then 4th grade, 16.7 in ELA and 26.1% in math. So we are definitely making some great strides at Mifflin, always trying to improve ourselves from the previous year and making sure that our kids are being successful. If you look at our achievement breakdown, this kind of goes by the testing categories of how well the students did on the state test. If you notice, we do have that advanced plus, and what that is from, we had a student that was accelerated, and she was able to score advanced on both her ELA and math tests, so we got bonus points. So that's where you see that advanced plus category of 1.1%. But you can see overall, we had 83% of our students pass the state test last year, and that is at least a record since I've been there. Mifflin is doing a great job, I think, really preparing kids for those tests, but really making those connections to real life every day so they can see the importance of what they are learning. These are our iReady diagnostic results. The top you will see is from the beginning of last year in the fall, and the bottom you will see is from May. You can see we had a lot of room to grow from the fall diagnostic, and then you can see where we fell back in May. This is for math, and you can see that the green sections went from 17% to 78%. So there was so much growth there. And I also want to draw your attention to that dark red. It's the red with like the stripes, or just the red that doesn't have the stripes in it. We went from 17% of kids being 2 or 3 years below grade level to 1%. And actually, if you look, there's actually nobody, there was 0% of children that fell 3 or more grade levels behind. So we completely eliminated that one in math, and that's something we always like to see. That is a testament to both the students behind me, to the families behind them, as well as our staff. They are working super hard. Similar results for reading and ELA. You can see we started the year in the green. We had 27% of kids basically on track with what we consider to be on track. But at the end, we ended up with 85% of our students scoring early grade level or above, mid or above at the end of the year. So very proud of that. And once again, that dark red, the red with the stripes through it, went from 2% to 0%. So we are making those gains in both math and reading, and we never want to favor one or the other, but we're still very proud of the effort that they all put into that. Grants and scholarships, this is always important. I want to make a special shout out to my second grade team of Mrs. Stephanie Beislein and Mrs. Janelle Kirshner. They're the ones that like to spearhead a lot of our efforts here. And you can see that between the two of them, they actually came up with 3 grants and scholarships. Our readathon was sponsored once again by Richland County Foundation, which helps us with our literacy night and gives every student a book in hand to read with their family. And then Mrs. Kirshner was able to procure a scholarship for classroom manipulatives in the amount of about $1,400. Just recently, Mrs. Beislein was able to get a scholarship to the Columbus Zoo. There was really no way we could afford that. It's very expensive for transportation, but she's actually a teacher board member of the Columbus Zoo, and she won a scholarship that provides us with transportation and very deeply discounted tickets to the zoo. So we're very excited that she worked so hard on that. It's a passion of hers, and you can see it really pays off all the effort she does. And then finally, just to give you guys a PBIS update, we are silver status, hoping to get it again this year. What I want to point out are our Tier 2 initiatives, and that's SAIG, Social Academic Instructional Groups, and Check-in, Check-out. We find that these 2 Tier 2 interventions bring us much success at Mifflin. SAIG is really good for our younger students because they get to meet with the counselor and basically they role play and learn what the expectations are. And they practice again and again and again until they can exit out of SAIG and really be successful within the classroom. Our older students respond better to check-in, check-out, where they choose an adult mentor in the building. It's completely their choice. It can be classified, it can be certified, it doesn't matter, where they check in every morning and they check out every afternoon. And they do that as a way to hold them accountable, and they respond well to that. And as soon as we see a pattern of success, they exit from that. Those 2 interventions are what helps propel us to get that silver status over bronze, and we're very proud of the work that both these kids and the teachers put into that. So at this time, that's the boring part of the presentation. I will turn it over to the kids, and we'll start with Johnny.
Last year, if we earned enough behavior points each quarter, we got to participate in a special reward. The first quarter, we got to go to Sky Dome in the gym. It was really cool. We got to see the planets projected inside the giant dome. The second quarter reward was a directed painting activity with Mrs. Porter. We painted a winter scene that had a tree and birds. For the third quarter, we got to have a down on the farm day. where we hunted for eggs filled with prizes. Some eggs earned us extra recess, a pizza party, and a glow party. The last quarter was watching the kickball game between the teachers and the fourth grade students. I always try hard to earn my points so that I can participate in these fun activities. Next, fourth grader Isaiah will tell you all about his experience in student council over the past 4 years.
This is my 4th year in student council. I started in the student council in 1st grade, was picked again by my teacher in 2nd grade, and campaigned for a position in 3rd and 4th grade. Last year and this year, I am a class representative for my grade level. It is always fun to be in student council because we always have fun ideas. We get to be leaders in our school and come up with Spirit Week ideas and make posters, and we always celebrate with fun field trips at the end of the year. I love coming up with new ideas to help our school and our community. Now some of our 3rd and 4th grade members will be talking about their experiences with field trips.
Last year, when I was in 2nd grade, we took some fun field trips. We got to go to Malabar Farm, where we slid down slides into pools of corn. We also played a duck game where we had to make the ducks swim. We also went to Ramsire Farm, which had a corn maze and giant slides to slide down. It also had a fun tire swing. Now 4th grader Maddie will tell you about field trips that she took last year.
Last year in 3rd grade, we took a field trip to the environmental classroom. We did a lot of fun activities that taught us about recycling and throwing away trash properly. We also went to Gorman Nature Center where we got to see some cool birds, like hawks. It was a lot of fun. I love getting out of the classroom and getting to learn about other fun things in our world. Now, our president Caleb will be talking about iReady. Last year, we had to work hard on iReady math and reading lessons all year. We had to take our time and concentrate to show what we know. If we did well on the end of the year diagnostic and met our growth goals, we could earn some prizes. If we met one of our goals, we earned the choice between getting sprayed by the fire truck or going to a movie in the gym. If we reached both of our goals for math and reading, we got both rewards. These prizes helped us to try our best and let us celebrate when we did well. Now, 4th grader Liliana will talk about the Wizard of Oz.
Right now, we are doing a one school, one book, and we are reading all about the Wizard of Oz. Each week, we read 2 chapters and play a book game about what we read that week. We are split into 2 houses this year, North and West. Our teachers wear pink and green as well. It is fun to be reading the same book together so that we can talk about the story with anyone else in the school. And we all have something in common. Next, our student council secretary, Asher, will be talking about last year's literacy night.
Last year, we read The Adventures of a South Pole Pig together as a whole school. In spring, we celebrated the story with a fun literacy night. The school was actually transformed into the South Pole. We even had a real pig. We had pizza and did a lot of fun activities to celebrate the story we read. It was a lot of fun. Next, 2nd grade Ellie will tell you all about her experiences as a Purple Star student.
I am a Purple Star student because my dad is in the military. We meet with Mrs. McKinney once a month to discuss how we can support the military in our community. Last year, we got to take a field trip to a military place where we saw a lot of their equipment and machines that they used. In the spring, we had a breakfast for military families in our school. It is important to me to be able to honor and celebrate members of the military and military families in our school. Now, fourth grader Emmy will talk about last year's support for Braxton Cole.
Last year, we tried hard as a school to support Braxton Cole and his family during his battle against cancer. We did a lot of fun things to help raise money, such as Spirit Weeks, hat days, and bake sales. We also sold candy canes to raise money for Braxton. At the end of the year, Braxton got to pie Mr. Stump in the face, which was a lot of fun to watch. Now, third grader Cooper will tell you about last year's readathon.
Last year in second grade, we participated in the readathon. We would read 15 to 30 minutes a day in class and logged our reading. We also asked our family members to support us so that we could earn prizes. We spent a lot of time reading at home too. We used the money from the readathon to pay for all of our fun field trips last year. Now, third grade Reno will tell you all about our music programs last year.
Last year in second grade, we did a Veterans Day music program with Miss Walker. We sang a lot of patriotic songs and got to dress up in red, white, and blue. We performed for the school during the day, and that night we got to perform for our families and special military guests. Now second grader will talk about being gifted in reading.
Last year in first grade, I was identified as gifted in reading. Ms. Moody, reading and writing. Ms. Moody worked with me to help keep me challenged. She did a lot of fun activities with me and helped me make sure that I didn't get bored while we were doing reading. I got to read a lot of fun things that were really interesting to me. Now, here's our Vice President, Maddie.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to all the exciting things that have been happening at Mifflin. We love our school and are thankful for the opportunity to share all the things that we love.
Lead, learn, love, Mifflin.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, entertain a motion to approve donations.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to publicly say thank you to the VFW Post for their support for our schools and the donation.
Yep.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mr. Wigton.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4. Entertain a motion to accept treasurer's report, business.
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion?
All right, yeah, we'll have some discussion.
That doesn't sound good.
Actually, the revenues, if we look at those, it's the increase for September is just due to timing. It's not, I know it's hard, you can make it bigger on your screen. Yeah, there's an increase over September, but that's just due to timing. It had to do when the state sent the reimbursement for the homestead and rollback. But actually, in the revenues, what I kind of want to draw your attention to is the flat line of the state foundation. We actually received less this September than we did last September, and we're only about 0.3 above for the fiscal year. So I had mentioned that flatlining of the state foundation when I did the forecast, and this is just a glaring example of, unfortunately, what I forecasted, predicted, and explained is happening. When the state flatlines or reduces their revenues, what it does is it just shifts the burden to the local taxpayers. And when you have a flat revenue and you have increased expenditures, that is, a recipe for going bankrupt. I mean, you're spending more than you're bringing in, not because you want to, just because your revenues aren't going up. They're staying flat, and your expenditures are going up. So that's the revenues. Actually going to talk a little bit on a positive note about the expenditures, because, you know, last month when I presented the forecast and I presented the budget, they call it appropriations, you know, they match. That is what we budget is what I forecast. And at the end of September, we were 25% of the way through the fiscal year. Well, as far as our expenses go with regards to salaries, we were at 24.84, which is right at 25%. As far as our expenses or benefits, 24.26, which is right at about the 25% level. Purchase services were a little bit higher, but that's understandable because some of the purchase services you have to pay for like up front in beginning, and also some of the purchase services had to do with some maintenance costs that we knew were being built in. So even though that's slightly above 25%, it's still right there. So the vast majority of all our expenditures are exactly where I had forecasted, where we budgeted, so we are on track. You know, the bad news is what I forecasted and what I budgeted was high. I mean, it would be nice to be much lower, but at least on a positive note, we are doing exactly what we said we were going to do as far as how we are going to spend the money and where we're at. So that's with that. And it also, these are the same things I've had before. I might switch them the next time. But that shows what I talked about in this last slide right here with the red and the green. You know, 25% last year, 25% this year. We're right at the 30% part for revenues. The reason we're 33% this year compared to last year is because of the homestead and rollback coming a month early. So that makes sense with that. Next thing we'll talk about is, we're good with this. Okay. Oh. Next thing we'll talk about is the grant that's received from the Richland County Retired Teachers Association. We need to make sure that we thank that organization and thank Troy Schultz for going out and seeking that grant, and that organization for giving us that grant. So the board needs to accept it so Troy can use that money for classroom supplies. 3 and 4 are tied together. 3 is the appropriations modification and estimated resources. That's fancy words for saying it's what we expect to receive in revenue and what we expect to spend. And number 4 says approval student activity budgets. The expected revenue, anticipated revenue, and the anticipated expenditures had to do with student activity budgets that got changed. So since they got changed, we have to update the appropriations modifications. It's not just general fund. So I just want you to know that these modifications are not general fund or what's in the forecast. They're student activity funds. And the last thing I want to talk about, and I'd like to have it, I've sent all you some highlights of the discussion. It's a resolution about switching to a consortium for our health care. We, as a district, are completely self-funded. And I would like to describe the self-funding as in there's 2 different tiers. There's, like us right now, completely and totally self-funded, which means Medical Mutual bills us for our claims. We pay our own claims every month. The cash for our 024 fund is in our own bank account. It's completely controlled by us. There's another level of this that you could get into, that what I'm proposing is what's called a consortium. We're still going to be self-funded. However, we are not going to be standalone. What we would do is if you agree to join this consortium, we would be a part of Jefferson Health Plan, which up there it says, you know, there's 250 governments over, looks like about 7 or 8 states, 30,000 other public employees. When you are in a consortium, instead of us paying our claims, what we would do is we would pay the same amount to Jefferson Health Plan every month, and they pay our claims. Instead of us having the cash in our own bank account, it's still our own cash, but it's going to be labeled cash on hand with a fiscal agent. So it would be in a U.S. bank that we can still have access to, but the way we get access to it is through premium moratoriums and things such as that. I'll just tell you what led up to it. Every year we go out for bid to try to get the best price on our stop loss and on our fixed cost. A fixed cost is what the third-party administrator charges us to process the claims, to get the bills from the hospital and determine whether or not it's, what it goes into, whether or not it's been, met the deductible, and then send us the invoice, and then we pay. They also, the third-party administrator also deals with things called drug reimbursements, which, to make a long story short, basically what it is if we pay full price for the drug and the manufacturer discounts it, they send the discount to Medical Mutual, and then Medical Mutual determines the percentage that they send back to us. So we go out for bid every year, and for the past several years, it's been Medical Mutual and 2 or 3 other companies, and Medical Mutual's always come in relatively close enough that it really has not been beneficial at all to do anything. This year they came in over $1 million difference, and when I say that, I want to let you know they had a 28% increase to tell the school. They told the school basically it's going to cost you $12.8 million for your health insurance next year. Jefferson Health Plan came in with their bid, and they were 11.7. The thing that upsets me about this whole thing is when Medical Mutual found out, they came back less than a week later with a revised quote of just slightly over 11.8. Well, I personally, that puts a bad taste in my mouth. Why did they, how did, this is the kind of stuff they pull every year. And in my personal opinion, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. That's just my personal feeling on this. And I also am afraid if we don't do some kind of a change, eventually we're not even going to get any other bids. There were 2 different companies we tried to get bids on this year that just completely flat out refused and declined to put a bid in.
Why was that?
Well, one reason is because the past couple years they did bid and we didn't go with them. And the second reason is we don't have currently, as we speak, a thing called prescription coverage management, which I have talked with the board about, we've talked with the insurance committee about, and we are going to implement that. But like, for example, one of the consortiums, OSBC, all their members have it, so since we didn't have it, they wouldn't even look at us. So my fear is if we don't do something now, we're even going to be more limited next year and we're going to be stuck. But that being said, I did hear from Mr. Mosier, and I appreciate your comment. I would like to hear if anybody has any questions or concerns, or if you're against this, I'd like to know, but I haven't said, I've been very transparent to the district and everybody in our insurance committee meetings. I've talked about it. I have not sent a mass email out yet because I wanted the board to have the opportunity to say, you know what, I like the idea, no, I don't like the idea, give me a discussion. If you have the blessing tonight, then I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, but sometime very shortly, I'm going to email the rest of the members and say, hey, we're joining Jefferson Health Plan as a consortium, and it'll be starting January 1st. Their bid was 11.7 million, 17.8% increase. So it was substantially less than, I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow. I see your disgust when, I mean, that's a lot of money, but I've been on record saying insurance is bankrupting the district, and I have, other than doing things like this, I don't know what else to do. I mean, this is about with this Jefferson Health Plan, it is a government maintained, so we will have meetings twice a year. We do get a vote on things. We do control our plan, so every teacher keeps, and not teacher, every employee will keep the same plan. We'll still keep Medical Mutual. Nothing is changing with respect to that. The only thing that they're going to see, there might be a few hiccups here and there, but the main thing everybody's going to see is a new card with a new group number and a new account number. That is what probably 90% of the people will see as a change. There might be something here and there that I can't anticipate, but for the most part, this Jefferson Health Plan switch will be the smoothest that we could do. Now, the other thing too, we still will have the ability to approve our stop loss. Like right now, it's first $150,000 of every claim we pay. So we're going to maintain that. You know, a year, 2, 3 into it, we can look at that and see if that's still appropriate. But we get to choose that. We get to choose if we're in Jefferson Health Plan. We still have the opportunity to choose who our provider is. We'll maintain Medical Mutual right now. If something happens and it turns out that we're better off going with somebody like United Healthcare or Anthem or whatever, we could make that change. But at this point in time, joining a consortium would not change any benefit, would not change our plan, would not change co-pays, deductibles. It would be our plan exactly. I mean, they're even agreeing to take our, like we have a smart shopper thing where people would shop for, they're agreeing for that. So it is the best that we could possibly do for disruption. It's going to cause the least disruption, but it is a big change. We would not be completely standalone. We would be a member of a group. So that being said, do you want to discuss this? Do you want to ask any questions? Are you okay with it? I don't want to put you on the spot, but Mr. Peterson and I have had multiple meetings with Jefferson Health Plan. I've met with them for 2 years now. I've had experience with them from other districts. I've had teachers that are here that have said they've had experiences with other districts. We have not had bad things to say, but
So
anybody want you?
just services will be the same, similar to what they currently have,
Mhm.
and it saves the districts over $1 million.
On this renewal, yes,
And when would it go into effect? Is it
January 1st,
Which is per contract, correct?
correct.
And these bids are every year? This is a yearly thing?
Well, this bid has been every year, but that's, once we join the consortium, it shouldn't be a 1 year and done thing. We need to stick with it for a while to make sure to give it time to help us out of the hole we're in. I mean, we are definitely in a hole, and we need something to help us out of that hole. So,
Like a no-brainer.
I mean, would you like to add something, or?
And the only thing I was going to add, and you just alluded to it, was that, anytime you're making a change, there's some anxiety that goes with it. But I can appreciate the fact that in your previous districts that you worked in, you have had experience with Jefferson Health Plan, and that experience has been positive. But so based on our conversations and conversations with Jefferson Health Plan, I think it's the right thing to do and completely endorse it.
I also want to let you know I've had an insurance committee meeting for the third quarter of this year. I'm going to have one in the fourth quarter, first part of December. We're going to have one in January, and January is when that prescription management, coverage management would be implemented. That wouldn't, even though it would be implemented then, it really wouldn't take total effect till like 90 days. So I want to make sure everybody has like 6 months of time to absorb this. So that's why I started it in September. This, however, would take effect January 1. So
The prescription part is the choice of the district. It's not negotiated in the contract.
that is correct. That's correct. We've had discussions with MLEA. They've been at our meeting, and they've confirmed that that's at our insurance committee meetings, that that's at the district's discretion. What those are things like prescription limits. And when I say prescription limits, like right now, a person can go to the doctor, their very first prescription, and get a 90-day fill on the very first time they took it, and they could take it home, take it for 5 days, and discover I'm kind of allergic to it, and the doctor goes and prescribes them a new one, and now they have 85 days worth of pills at the home that they paid for and we paid for that are no good. This prescription management wouldn't allow that. It would put a cap on the first, like the first fill, so you can only get like 15 days and then it could go to 30. The other thing the prescription limits do are pre-authorization, and I know that sounds scary, but it's just like when you go to have surgery, all that's done behind the scenes before you ever even, you don't have to do anything. The doctor does it. And we've had discussions with Medical Mutual and some with Jefferson Health Plan and a lot with Fidelity Group, and the numbers have been anywhere between 95 and 98% of the rest of the world has this sort of thing in place. We're like an oddball, a white elephant that doesn't. So all the doctors are used to doing this pre-authorization for drugs. And the third thing has to do with what's called step therapy. And it's really what it was driven by is when you see a drug advertised on TV, a designer drug, they're outrageously expensive, okay? And a lot of times people go to the doctor and say, hey, I want that Skyrizi or Manjaro or whatever it is. The step therapy requires the doctor, before they just put them on that ultra expensive new designer drug, to say, okay, if this is your symptom, we need to try this first before we just give you the, exactly what you're asking for. I think the GLP-1s is probably what is really driving this, because there have been instances where physicians have prescribed GLP-1s to people just for weight loss, and it was meant for diabetes. And by the end of June, the district had spent over $300,000 on just GLP-1s medications. So it's necessary to make sure we have a control and maintain our costs. I mean, we've got to do something. That's all there is to it. So, I mean, $12.8 million is real money. It's a lot of money. And when somebody says, where's all your money going and you're mismanaging it, that's 12.8 is a lot of money. That's where it's going. I mean, I'm not.
So, all right, I think
we're good?
Everybody good on that, section 1? All right.
All right, I'm going to take a vote if you don't mind.
Overall, your report, did you cover section 2 and 3 on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize.
Okay, Miss Amy Walker?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mrs. Cotterman?
4.
Mr. Wigton?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4. All right, item K, strategic plan, presentation.
Good evening. Sonia and I are here as co-chairs presenting for the strategic planning. Our committee is the communication and engagement. So this is going into year 5 now that we've been working on this committee together. Just kind of give you a little background, just a refresher here. We've been working on how to better ensure that we are meeting the needs of the community, the parents, the students, the staff the best we can, and seeing what we can do to improve it. So a few years ago, we sent out surveys to the community, and one of the big takeaways was they wanted kind of one place to get their information from for whatever's going on. They felt like it was kind of all over the place with different kids at different buildings. So we heard that. We started working on that a couple years ago, what we could do to maybe bridge that gap and find some solutions. And this past year, we really worked on updating our website, and then the company we got into agreement with, they also had the app as well as a communication piece, and that's what we really focused on this past year, and this is where we're at right now. So step 1, the strategy was implementation of a one district-wide two-way communication system for continuous updates. So if you take a look at our action steps there, and our timeline at the beginning of the summer, or at the end of summer, August, we implemented the rooms. That's our two-way communication piece for the whole district. We started implementing that, the parent download for that, the teacher use of that, started off the beginning of the school year. We started monitoring how it was going, taking a look at how to better get a feel of that. So in September, we developed a survey for the staff to see their feel of it and how it was going. Took that feedback, presented that, questions they had, comments, concerns, whatever they had. We took that to the company as well, talked about, hey, this is what the staff is saying, you know, here's their feelings of it, what can we do to better help out with that? And that was our next step there. They reviewed it our last PD day on Monday. Yeah, on Monday, we had time for staff to have a Q&A with a live rep there to help answer some questions or help solve any problems that they were having as best they could. So they started implementing those as well. Our next steps here coming up are we are going to be continuing to update our website as well as kind of fine-tuning the rooms section of it, but also trying to keep up to date with the website, making sure that the families are able to access it and have up-to-date information on there, and then also making sure that our social media section of those as well are updated and getting information out for events or upcoming celebrations or things like that for the community as well.
Okay, so I'm going to cover our strategy number 2 and 3. So obviously we implemented the rooms, and we're going to continue monitoring that throughout the school year. This is the first year of that. But in addition, Kyle mentioned that we were working on all the buildings getting their websites updated, and that's going to be a continuous work in progress. It's just you're continuously updating. The main thing is to make sure it is updated. We met with the family engagement team. I'm trying to remember when that was now. Over the summer. Yeah. And that's at the high school. And there was a parent on that team that had a lot of experience with websites. And so she voluntarily went through every single page of our website and fine-tooth combed everything and made a list for every administrator to go in and update. And you know, you just don't you get busy with the everyday and just trying to keep up on all that, and it was really, really helpful. I mean, it just gave us a list and we could just go right down and check it off as we updated it. So that will keep going. It's important to have updated information out there if we're sending folks to it. So our second strategy, something we want to focus on this year, in addition to all of that, is develop guidelines and procedures to improve our social media communication. So we want to keep our social media pages up to date, but also just putting some guidelines and procedures together on how to monitor it, how to respond to comments, things like that show up on social media, and make sure we have some consistency across the district as far as what we're posting, how we're posting, and those kinds of things. So we are going to, we have our first meeting scheduled November 4th, our team, and so we're going to start working on developing those procedures. And part of that is once we get those guidelines developed, we need to identify who's responsible for the different social media pages. And then pull those folks together and go through the guidelines and procedures and make sure we're all doing the same thing. And then finally, I mean, our overall goal of this team 5 years ago was to have just full implementation of a comprehensive district-wide communication system. And I truly believe that we're there. We're gonna meet that. But one thing we want to do, in addition to the guidelines for social media, is to develop an internal and external stakeholder survey just to get some feedback. And we want to send that out, I don't know, probably around February. Send that out and just get some feedback on everything that's been implemented. You know, how are the parents responding to the two-way communication? You know, the website, are they updated? Just to see how things are going. And then we'll pull those results back, compile them, and then hopefully be able to present those results to you in May for the end of the school year. So that's what we're working on this year.
Yep. You guys have any questions? All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Item L, matters related to personnel. Entertain a motion to accept the matter.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Just briefly comment on a couple of retirements. I think one of those individuals might even be here this evening. Leanne Hall and Kimberly Miller, two longtime teachers of the school district, will be retiring at the end of this school year. And in May, at our May meeting, I will invite them back again to recognize them in a more formal manner, but like to congratulate them on their pending retirements.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Wigton. 4. Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4. Entertain a motion for superintendent business.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Nothing. These are all pretty standard items.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mr. Wigton. 4. Mrs. Melissa Walker.
4.
Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4. Any visitors' comments? Seeing none, we'll go to president business. Next regular board meeting of education will be right here, 6 p.m. on November 19th. Item B, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Whoops, that was Mrs. Melissa Walker.
Okay.
Mrs. Melissa Walker.
And 4.
Mr. Wigton. 4. Mrs. Cotterman.
4.
Miss Amy Walker.
4.
Mr. Mosier.
4. Thank you very much for attending.
Woo-hoo.